My master used to say, that horses were trained. They just teach us the way they like to be ridden. You can train a horse out of fear, any animal actually, out of anything you want. You can train him with love, you can train him with fear, you can train him with all the nuances between those, and you can train them by pain. You can train them all sorts of ways. If you have a good relation with your horse, everything is going to be easy. Therefore, traditionally, as we start with the shoulder in to the left, especially with José, because this is the side where if he's bent to the left and cross his front leg and his back leg, suddenly his whole body feels better. But that's the position that we really enjoy. We start the process on the square. Why on the square? Because we know we have 4 corners to allow the horse to get into his corners and to go from one point to another. You remember the definition of what we want to do by order of importance. We have the direction. In other words, we are on the square right now. We have the rhythm of the walk or of the gait. We have the bend. Of course, it's easier for the shoulder in. The horse is bent to the left. And then we have the lightness, meaning that the horse carries himself without the help of the hand of the rider. Just giving with the right, giving with the left, that the horse is in self-carriage. We can transform that square into a smaller circle to allow more crossing at the back. On the small circle, you will feel that the shoulders cover less ground and the back has to cover more ground. Therefore, this is a good exercise for the horse to be able to cross his hind leg a little more powerfully. We will do the same thing to the right. The difficulties with the circle is that the rider's shoulder should turn in relation with the center of the circle at every stride. Every stride, that angle is the same in relation with the center of the circle. For it's a little tricky for the rider, but it's very, very good for the horse. Go back to the left. We are going to have a little bit more of impulsion coming in. Want to have a little start of a little piaffe, just to have him a little rounder, that's it. To have a little more quality into the collection. And then we can go from a shoulder in to a haunches in. Always keeping your shoulders parallel to the horse's shoulders. Back to the shoulder in. And back to the haunches in the corners. Always looking for the lightness on the inside and on the outside. Back to the shoulder in. Now, José has a wonderful ability to have a lot more crossing, a lot more angle than most horses. José is from the Vega line of the Lusitanos, and they have a tendency to have a great ability for bullfighting. Therefore, their crossing is more exaggerated. We go into haunches in, and then when we change the direction of the haunches in, then we can go once again into the pirouette in the center of the ring. Why in the center of the ring? Because horses feel free from the walls. They have a lot more ability to do this. A lot more freedom. And you can stay on your pirouette the way you want as long as the walk rhythm stay the same. And back to a shoulder in. Want to go in shoulder in to the left, haunches in towards the center line. Your right hand a little higher, you lean back, and you look behind you. This is your little circle in haunches in, which will become a pirouette when it's tighter. Here we go. Back in the shoulder in. And now I want you to have Deborah going toward the center of the ring, going into pirouette at the walk. Pirouette at the walk is simply a small circle in haunches in. Small circle. Here we are. And Deborah is going to stay on that small circle in haunches in. Regularity of the rhythm, regularity of the pace, and it's a movement like another one. You can stay on that pirouette, stay there. And whenever you want, Deborah, you go back into your shoulder in. That's it. Very nice. Very, very good there. We're going to do it again, and this time asking for a little tighter pirouette, meaning the horse hind leg staying a little bit more on the spot. Very good there. Very good. Yes, keeping the rhythm. The rhythm is very fundamental. If that rhythm stay in the pirouette, the canter pirouette are going to be there in canter, which means 3-beat canter. Common mistake is to want the horse to turn. In other words, using the hands, and then suddenly the walk stops. The leg blocks and you lose the walk. Therefore, you have to rebuild your walk or redo it again. And by tightening your back, because people use a lot of legs to do this, therefore every time you use a lot of legs, your back gets tight, the whole horse stops and nothing is happening anymore. Therefore, it's very important to let him be, to let the horse move underneath you, not interfere. Tell him where to go, position yourself correctly, and let him do it. Do not interfere. Well, we're going to go the canter, and the haunches in at the canter. Very important to keep the 3-beat canter. Very important to keep the 3-beat canter. And the 3-beat canter is going to stay if you have a lightness on your inside ring. When you think pirouette, always think 2 pirouettes instead of 1 in your mind. Therefore, the end of your first one will be good. We can have another way to do it, is to come into the center line, go into a canter, and instantly into the pirouette. The Monkey in the Pot is the story about that great big pot with a little narrow opening, and the monkey is very hungry. And he goes in and grabs a big piece of food, and of course he's trapped. He cannot take it out. And I think we are all monkeys, and we are all very hungry in life, and we have all big desire. And we trap, and we feel trapped in life because we want all those things that we want, things are important, and that make us suffer. That make us, those are the things that make us not happy. If we stop the desire, if we stop what we want to do and goes with whatever is happening that day, we are a much happier person, and certainly the horses would be a lot more happy.